The questions and stories around quantity versus quality spark so many hidden meanings. Here are just a few lessons I've learned from those stories that I'd like to share with you today. Starting with first, the lesson of the clay pot story, and actually it being, I think, a photography professor that came up with it. But the idea of quantity versus quality. In the first group, only focusing on quality. The idea that they needed to focus on perfection and that they had one try at making the perfect clay pot. The first try needed to be the one where they ended up having the best. So they were always unsure about the strategy to take because they hadn't ever done it before. Whereas group two, their focus was quantity. Their focus was imperfection, getting as many clay pots done as they possibly could in the 1 hour span that they had. Their goal was volume, getting them out. The trial and error effect allows for them to make the next one that they do better than the last because they've had so many ones previous. You're learning from the mistakes that you've previously made. So which do you think ended up making the best quality clay pot in the end? Of course, it's the quantity group. Their focus ended up getting them the best because they learned how to improve 1% even across the hour. They learned how to make it better. Whereas the quality group never really was able to learn from the reps and from the doing, which I would argue is probably the most important part of learning an actual thing, is doing it. Sitting in a classroom or watching a YouTube video of somebody doing something is a good way to learn. The best way to learn is to do that thing yourself. What they did was they learned it themselves by doing. The quality group was likely very focused on reading books, likely very focused on inputs of strategy. The quantity group was focused on outputs and getting things done. The inputs are very important. The outputs teach you the most. A couple other ways I've seen this put and lessons that this ended up teaching me as a story are that a focused fool will always beat a distracted genius. The idea that you are focused and doing the same thing over and over, learning as you go, improving 1% each time, will always beat somebody who's trying one thing here, trying a new thing here a few weeks later, a couple days later, I'm going to try a new thing here. You're never going to actually see the results that the focused fool will end up seeing by improving on the same thing every single day. The next lesson too is the importance of maximize over optimize. Yes, optimizing is important, but to maximize and to get the volume, to focus on the outputs and learning from the mistakes of doing more is where the people who are having the most success put the majority of their focus. The people who are extremely successful are not spending their time and energy on optimizing things. They spend their time and energy on maximizing things. I know that there are several additional lessons from this story and from these things that I've missed. Please comment them down below. I love stories and experiments and things that you can grab several lessons from. If you have any other ideas of things that I can make another video on, please share it with us in the comments. These are the kinds of topics that I love talking about just with people around a bonfire. So I'll be making a lot of videos about these things in the future. And if you'd like to discuss this more, we talk about it every week with people about how to strategize around these things in business and in community and on school. So we'll see you in our community if you'd like to discuss that a little bit more with us every single week.